surrounded by morons. We were just driving through a little stretch back there, and like, I don't know, one of the cars was back behind me, probably turned. The car up on the right lane over there, closest. We're just, that guy was tailgating me like mad. We're all doing like, you know, I was the only car. All of a sudden, like 5 other cars come up behind me, and a couple pass, but then they go the same speed, you know, just about. So we're all kind of cruising together at like, you know, 5-10 miles an hour over the speed limit in the rain around some corners. But that guy's tailgating me like mad, and two other cars zoomed past on the right, cut in between, like to get to the red light before I did. You know, oh boy, and then they were in the other lane, and I rolled up past them, and then the tailgating guy was just had to rip on past there. I'll probably catch him up here at the next light though, because we're surrounded by morons. Just absolutely, I'm in a hurry, I gotta get there, there's important things to be done. I gotta get to my airplane and start flying in circles over town. Something like that. I'm gonna be late for soccer practice. Anyway, going to pick and pull. Still want to call it you pull it, but it's not you pull it, it's pick and pull. There's the guy in the Tiguan. Oh, you just got passed by the guy you tailgated for like a mile. Oh well. I was polite. I didn't like slam on my brakes or anything. It's like, well played, sir. Well played. And then another. Says Peter Griffin. Hey, that glass is a little sharp. I'm wearing two pairs of glasses. Am I? Or maybe I'm not. That's right, I took those off. Well now. I worked over there for about 4 months when I first came back from Las Vegas in 2008. When I began to notice Kimberly T. Rails moving into the neighborhood. Kimberly T. Rails was everywhere, and she still is. She's established a foothold on the world, and now she's climbing to the top. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know that you are a shooting star? That's where I worked, right there in the shop. They're the only guys that really do anything there. The cadets and the guys that work in the shop. The guys that work in the shop work so slow. They could tell they'd get annoyed with me because I didn't work slow enough. I'm like, oh, okay. After about a week or two, I figured like I have to work really slow, or I will get everything done that these 5 guys are supposed to be getting done in this week. I'll get it all done by myself in like a week, and they won't let me do that because then they wouldn't have anything to do while they're getting paid out the fucking yang for doing the nothing they do, which is they do work, and they're good at the work that they have to do. It's not like there's any problem with that. It's just that it's detailed work too, I'll give them that, but it's done it's ultra slow. I mean, as slow as possible, you know. When you're making 80, 90, 100 grand a year as a mechanic, as a maintenance mechanic, I guess, you know, you have to work super slow so you don't make any mistakes because it's the fire department. People's lives are on the line. I did discover that they get an allowance for a new engine apparatus every 3 years, and they donate their old engine to a more poor fire district, rural ones or something, and then they get their new one because the cost of maintenance meets what a new one would cost, and it's after 3 years, and so they get a new one. And they have a hook and ladder truck there that I worked on. It had been in an accident, I guess. Some strippers crashed into a something on the freeway on the 205 bridge, and there was dollar bills everywhere, and they brought the hook and ladder out there, and they were blocking traffic with it, and somebody crashed into the hook and ladder truck and kind of messed up the back end part. So when I was working there, that was one of the things that I worked on, was repairing the back end. And there's a piece of trim that I knew on the hook and ladder truck where I could see the difference in some paint on it, but when we got done with all the stuff we were doing, we replaced some parts, and so the hook and ladder truck was identifiable to me. And so here it is. This is like 8-9 years later, and there I see the hook and ladder truck. I can't remember the number right now, but it was the same one, right? Because I looked and I saw the paint thing on it, and I'm like, oh, that's the same hook and ladder truck. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, they get money to get a new apparatus engine and whatever every 3 years. And that's the same hook and ladder truck that was there from like 8-10 years ago, however long. It was quite a while back at the time. So anyway, I'm like, what are they doing with the money for the engine? They're just keeping it, the battalion chief just taking his 180. Battalion chief in Vancouver makes more than the president does for being president. Remember when I was in school, they said the president makes $144,000 a year. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. But that's nothing. You got to be a billionaire to be the president, or you have to sell your soul, or both, most likely. I mean, if somebody had to sell their soul to be president, it would be T-Rump that's buying it anyway. Him and Obama kicking back with the Saudi princes on some crystal. That's what's going on. Woo. Feel the power. Okay, almost there. Oh, that guy took my spot. Right up front. There's even more up front. Way up front. There's a cribs there somewhere. Alright, I've arrived. Maybe I'll make a video inside there too.